just finished up the state of play for Ghost of Yōtei. It was pretty damn good. Like, I would recommend you to go see that if you haven't seen it already. It is a deep dive into the gameplay, and we get to see a lot of different things. You know, we get to see stuff about armor, we get to see different outfits, we get to see different ways of combat, and we get to see the different weapons that Atsu carries throughout her journey. We also get a glimpse of some of the new gameplay features. We get a glimpse of the open world and how the story is going to unfold. We get to hear the English voice acting, and we get to hear the Japanese voice acting. I mean, it's all really cool and really well crafted, but I want to talk about some of the things that I personally found interesting. We're not going to go through the entire state of play, but we're just going to talk about the things that really caught my eye the most. But before we do that, if you liked Ghost of Tsushima, you liked what it delivered, you enjoyed the open world, you enjoyed playing it, you enjoyed the combat, you enjoyed some of the features like Kurosawa mode, exploring the land, then you're gonna probably like Ghost of Yōtei. It's basically Ghost of Tsushima, but more. It's Ghost of Tsushima, but bigger. It's Ghost of Tsushima, but with more enhancements. It just kind of improved on everything that Ghost of Tsushima did. It took something that was awesome, something that was great, something that was beloved, and it just helped improve it a little bit more. And of course, we won't know the full extent of that until we get our hands on it. But according to this gameplay deep dive, there's a lot of things to be excited for. Now, I know that some of you guys are going to be disappointed that we don't get our boy Jin Sakai back. You know, I was disappointed at first as well, but I'm willing to give Atsu a try and, you know, just go into a brand new journey with nothing holding me back, with nothing tying me to anything previously, and just kind of find something brand new and beautiful in this world. Because the world of the Ghost is what draws me to these games. Just how beautiful they are, how massive they are. You can tell that this world is much bigger than Ghost of Tsushima. The colors, just the little places you can find, it's all very familiar. There's nothing like massively different in the gameplay and the way that it looks. It looks like just a continuation of Ghost of Tsushima, and you can really tell that the people behind this game, the people that worked on Ghost of Tsushima and the people that are working now on Ghost of Yōtei, they truly love what they do. I mean, I saw the music section and you could just see the musicians' eyes like just light up as they're coming up with these awesome new tracks that we're gonna be able to experience during the game. They just have this like love for what they're doing, and I love to see that because you know that you're getting a game that's worth it. You know you're getting a game that a lot of love was poured into it. Honestly, that stuff was just mind-blowing to me. I really enjoyed seeing that. But some of the things that I really enjoyed was seeing a lot of the new outfits that we are going to be able to use as Atsu. Being honest, I'm not like a humongous fan of the yellow and the cape that she has going on. Maybe it's because I'm not like a big fan of yellow in general, and I was really excited to see like more outfits that Atsu can have, different masks and different armor and things like that, and we got to see so many cool different looks. I saw one that was like kind of stealthy, all black with a black mask. That looks awesome. Like, that's something I would like to rock. I also saw a really beautiful one where she's wearing like all white and it has a little bit of gold on it, and it has a black mask, like a big ass hat. Like, I mean, that shit looked dope. But the outfits, that was one of the main things that I wanted to see, and I'm glad that we got to see a bunch of different outfits, a lot of different combinations that you can do, and I think it'll make for a different experience for every single one. Another thing that I want to talk about is the way that you're gonna be able to tackle the story. It's not like linear, it's an open world, and they made an emphasis on this gameplay trailer and in other news reports that they've done in the past about how they want this game to be different for everyone. Like, if you're an explorer and you want to explore every single thing that you can do, all the side quests, like, you can do that. The game will afford you the opportunity to do that. Or if you want to just concentrate on the story and keep it more linear, you can also do that and just go for the story elements of the game. Now, a comment that the creative directors made was that this game wasn't going to feel like checking off a box. They didn't want it to feel that way. They didn't want you to feel like a tedious task. They even acknowledged that sometimes open world games can feel like a task, like you're just checking off boxes and doing things just to do them. And believe it or not, there was like a small group of people and, or other people that are more critical of gaming, I suppose, that had some of that issue with Ghost of Tsushima. Sometimes it felt to some that it was like checking off a box. And that's something that it seems like they wanted to address, and they kind of left it a little bit more open. Like, everything kind of happens a little bit more naturally. And they even added this new mode where you can rest and you can sleep and you can cook anywhere in the world. And while you're sleeping, resting, or cooking, and they even show you like cooking the fish and stuff, which I thought was a really cool little design design. And you can also play, it's like a little banjo or guitar. I know you got, correct me down in the comments below what instrument she's playing, but she can play a little instrument. And people can come and say like, hey, can I sit with you? And then they'll maybe try to sell you things or try to sell you items that you don't have, or items that are very important to maybe the story, or things that you can use to power up and get a little bit more of a boost. And so they made a point to say that if you use this feature where you can rest and stuff, the story comes to you. It's not like you're going out and looking for the story as well. The story comes to you. And I think that's a really cool feature and something that I really, really liked. And I wanted to point that out as well. I also think that this way, or this approach of telling the story, kind of makes everybody's playthrough different. And that's something that I really, really like when it comes to open world games like this, because we don't all want to play it the same way and kind of do the same things. Maybe I decide that I want to play really action heavy and rock like a whole black outfit with Atsu, and I want to put it in Kurosawa mode, and I want to put it in Japanese, and that's my experience. But maybe somebody else wants to play her with like really bright colors and play English and play the regular mode or the other cinematic modes that they added, and it's just going to feel completely different because they're going to go and do stuff a certain way and I'm going to do stuff a certain way. And I love that. I really, really love that because everybody's experience just feels different. And I think that just goes to show how much love is put into the game because of the different features that they're adding. And another thing that I want to mention, which kind of pivots perfectly into this, is the Kurosawa mode is coming back. We already mentioned it. That mode where it takes inspiration from some of the most influential Japanese films of the time, and you have like this black and white filter with film grain really high, a bunch of wind and things like that. And that was a cool feature. I used a little bit in Ghost of Tsushima, and playing it like that with the Japanese audio kind of just transports you to a different type of feeling, a different vibe. But what's really cool here, not only did they bring that mode back, they brought 2 other different cinematic modes where you can play with a closer camera, a lot more blood, and a lot more mud. So it just kind of gives you a different feeling. Or you can play with another cinematic mode that concentrates a little bit more on music and a little bit more upbeat with like original songs from 2 other prominent directors. So it's really, really cool that they went out of the way to do this, because again, it kind of personalizes the Ghost of Yōtei experience to whoever is playing. And now I will say some comments on Atsu and her performance from the very limited things that we saw in this trailer. I will say that the voice acting, I'm a little bit iffy on it. I'm not gonna make a comment like, oh, it's good or oh, it's bad, because we barely heard her speak. But the little bit that I heard her speak in English, I'm a little iffy on it yet. Like I don't know if it's gonna be good or bad, because some of the dialogue that she read didn't feel that powerful yet. It felt a little bit more like almost like reading off of a script. But again, that could have just been the moment, like maybe the performance is going to be great and we just need to wait and actually get our hands on the game. The little bit that we got of her speaking in Japanese was fucking fire. It sounded a little bit more like raw, sounded like it had a little bit more emotion behind it, and I really like that. So as of right now, as of today, I'm kind of debating if maybe I want to jump into Kurosawa mode, put it in Japanese, and kind of see how that goes. Play it first, maybe 10 hours of the game like that. It's gonna be really cool to, try it out, play around with different modes, different cinematic modes. But that was something that I wanted to bring up. That's just like a very, 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 very minor little critique there that I might have had. But other than that, this game looks phenomenal. And some of you guys might say, well, this is literally just an asset flip, because it really looks a lot like Ghost of Tsushima. Obviously there's going to be some improvements, but it looks very similar. But I don't think the way that the game looks is the improvement. I think the quality of life updates, adding a couple of different things that maybe we wanted in Ghost of Tsushima that we never thought we would get, and now they're adding it to this, making exploration a little bit more easier, making keeping track of what's going on a little bit more easier, those types of things. I think that there's a lot to cover in Ghost of Yōtei, and I think Ghost of Yōtei is going to have a lot of things that Ghost of Tsushima didn't have, and I think it's going to be a massive improvement on the gameplay and the game overall. Of course, we're always going to miss Jin Sakai, but I'm definitely down to give Yōtei a big try and Atsu her fair shake, because I think this game is going to be pretty cool. What was your favorite things about Ghost of Yōtei and this State of Play review?